Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Don Byrne, and I'll be your moderator today in our first of 5 webinar series, Securing the Enterprise Cloud. Next week, we're going to go ahead and continue the series with Security for O365, where we'll focus on how we quickly and easily help prevent phishing and malware attacks and compromised accounts. Going down the list, on the 22nd, we'll continue that series with focus on G Suite. March 1st, we'll shift a little bit from security as SaaS and start talking more about security for infrastructure as a service, AWS, Azure, and then we'll end the series on March 8th with a specific session focused on compromised account protection. Our presenter today is our Director of Cloud Security Architecture, Chris Isbrecht. In a few minutes, I'm going to hand it off to Chris, and he'll walk you through the demo of the Avanan platform and show you how we help secure Citrix Sharefile. Again, this session is really dedicated on that, so we're going to focus the demo on that. If you notice in the GoToWebinar app that you're running, there's a place for you to ask questions. Please feel free to use that to ask any questions at any time. And then what we'll do is at the end, we'll attempt to answer those various questions. And for those that we don't have time to get to, we'll follow up with you directly. Before I turn it over to Chris, I do want to spend a couple minutes explaining a little bit about who we are and how we work. I think that's very important to give that fundamental understanding of Avanan as a company. So in terms of who we are, really the goal of Avanan and the basis of why we were founded was really provide a single method for implementing best-of-breed security for all your cloud-based applications quickly and easily. Right? And our platform was built on this idea, and our customers have the ability to quickly and easily address their different cloud-based security gaps from one single source. And the thing that our customers really like is how quick and easy it is to do this. And they can do so leveraging best-of-breed vendors. So vendors that you already know, love, and trust that you might work with today. We're providing those capabilities to you in a cloud-based platform. So to that end, we have actually partnered with 60+ security vendors to fill the gaps left by cloud-based applications, right? So with our platform, Avanan connects to your SaaS applications to what we term cloudified versions of these security tools. And as you'll see in the demo, provisioning these security tools is literally done with a click of a button, right? So our approach makes it incredibly easy to deploy capabilities like DLP or zero-day malware protection for your different cloud-based applications. Other than making it, simple and easy for you to fill those gaps, we do so again in a way that doesn't lock you into a single vendor. Right, so again, we bring those 60+ security vendors to you. The use cases that we generally see around the cloud-based applications, we've essentially listed them all here. Anti-phishing, again, that's more of an email-based one. We'll address that next week. But the ones that are in bold are the ones that really are more specific to Sharefile. So zero-day malware protection, DLP, account takeover protection. We're seeing a lot of people that are concerned about, hey, look, we're having accounts, people are giving up their credentials or logging into their SaaS-based applications. The hackers are taking over control of those apps. So we're providing a lot of capabilities around that. SIM integration and compliance enforcement. So in terms of how we do it, again, it's a pretty simple approach, right? And we're using APIs, right? So we have the visibility with the APIs to everything that occurs within the Sharefile environment, whether it be uploads or downloads or edits, any of that activity we're seeing again via the APIs. Right, so that's that first step is connection via the APIs, and Chris is going to walk you through how we go ahead and do that. So when there is an actual change to a file, when a file gets edited or modified or updated, we know about that, right? The APIs tell us, hey, there's a new file that's been introduced. And again, this capability, by the way, applies to whether your Sharefile storage zone is on-prem or in the cloud. It doesn't matter. Right? But we know that those documents have been edited or updated. What we do is once we see that occur and a new file is introduced, we scan it with the different security tools that you've enabled in our portal. Right? So if you've enabled DLP, we're going to run DLP against to tell you what files contain sensitive information, credit card number, social security number, PHI, PII, those kind of things, right? And then based on the policy violations, we actually have the ability to take corrective action, right? So we can, quarantine a file, encrypt it, change permissions. So if you got a file that's got, 500 credit card numbers, we can actually take an action to say, oh, that's being shared with everyone, remove the permissions on that file. So again, setting this up for new customers is quick and easy since we leverage the APIs. There's no proxy or agent to deploy, right? Our approach ensures that there are no changes to the end user experience whatsoever. So your users will continue to use Sharefile as they do today. So with that, I'm going to go ahead and turn over the floor to Chris Isbrecht. Again, we'll walk you through the demonstration. Chris?
Okay, thanks, Don. So we're going to focus the demo on Citrix for today and how we can help augment security and help protect data that's going to sit within the cloud from a Citrix standpoint. Our on-demand SaaS platform allows us to very quickly and easily give you visibility into all of your data that's going to sit in the cloud, and then also allows us to add a lot of different security functions and capabilities to lock down and make sure that that data stays secure for us. We've got over 60 different security products that we can leverage to help protect that data in the cloud. Everything from antivirus to malware to predictive malware detection, data leak prevention capabilities to give you visibility to sensitive information and really take control over not just Citrix Sharefile, but any data that you have sitting in the cloud. What we're going to run through is a quick overview of what it takes to get yourself enabled with the Avanan platform. The enterprise deployment really consists of 2 steps. It takes less than 10 minutes for us to gain visibility and extend these capabilities into Sharefile. So we're going to take you through and show you a quick demonstration on what it takes to get going in the platform. Step 1 in the process is to connect to the various SaaS platforms within our service. So today we're going to focus on Sharefile. We've got upcoming webinars on Microsoft and Google and Amazon and the various solutions. But today we're going to drill in and focus specifically on Sharefile. For our platform, we really focus on the API approach to gain visibility into the SaaS platforms. The only requirement that we have from a customer standpoint is that you've got your global admin or your super admin account. That allows us to authorize our Avanan Cloud app within the cloud service. So essentially, you're going to log in. You're going to give permission and authorization for Avanan to be able to see your data in the cloud. Some things that we don't do, we're not installing proxies. There's no hardware, there's no software. Essentially, the authorization of the API from our cloud allows us to see every event that takes place, have access to files to be able to do scans and make sure that that information is secure. So whether you have 100 users, 1,000, 10,000, 100,000, our deployment process literally is authorizing our app, which takes about 2 minutes to run through to gain visibility into the environment. And then step 2 for us would be to decide what types of security apps we're going to use to secure that information. So within our application store, you're going to see the security apps are going to be broken down by the type of security. So you'll see predictive malware, sandboxing solutions, antivirus solutions. These products have all been cloudified or SaaSified into our platform. So you're not installing management servers or license keys. Everything is baked into our solution. It's available on demand in the product. If I wanted to deploy a Cylance static analysis scanning capability, I'm simply going to hit the start button here. That's going to add it to our security stack. And that security is available on demand. We're now scanning all files within Sharefile to look for malware within the environment. So the same thing goes for all of the tools in the stack here. We'll walk through, we'll figure out what the protection model should look like. Again, you've got everything from sandboxing tools to antivirus. When it comes to email, we've got things like phishing protection that's built in. We've got our data leak prevention capability. So if we want to scan for sensitive information that sits within Sharefile, whether it's HIPAA compliance, PCI compliance that you're after, we can show you the information, show you what's sensitive, and then set automated policies to remediate or block that information from being shared. So will really give us eyes into the environment and then full policy capabilities to lock down and again make sure that that information is not going to leak. From an enterprise management standpoint, we also have the ability to integrate with your existing security and event management systems. So we can send our events to a Splunk, an ArcSight, a QRadar to give you a single dashboard from an event management standpoint. Could also handle that within our interface, so single pane of glass to be able to manage those events and anything that we're going to collect from a cloud security standpoint. Okay. So that's literally the entire setup to gain visibility and to scan the environment. Once this initial configuration is done, we're going to start our initial scan period. So we'll go through and scan the entire history of all files within Sharefile. We'll be able to show things like login events and files that have been shared through the system. You'll see the security stack here will give us a pretty good idea of what the protection model looks like, how many layers of protection, and show us the existing protection model that we've got in place. From there, what we'll start to see in our policy framework, we can start to make automated decisions based on the scans and the security tools that we have in place. So if we look at the Sharefile section, I'm able to create policies here to protect against malware, against sensitive data leaving the environment. If I take a look here, let's do a quick malware policy. So I can set group-based policy. I can decide which mode I'm protecting in. So we can be in a monitor-only mode or a detect and prevent mode. I can decide which user groups are going to be affected. So if I have groups of users that do touch sensitive information, I want to track it, I want to be able to warn or protect against it, I can set up protection at the group level. And then I can also decide which security tools I'm going to use from a protection standpoint. And then I can set automated remediation capabilities here to do things like automatically quarantine those files, remove permissions, and block them from being shared within the environment. So it gives you the ability to set policy, automatically take these actions, and make sure that we are protecting that information in the cloud. Same thing from a data leak prevention standpoint. We've normalized all of the DLP properties and policies within our interface. I can select my user groups, the DLP criteria or rules that I want to go after. So if I want to look for sensitive information, I can set the thresholds, and then I can automatically quarantine, send alerts and alarms, and again, protect that information in the cloud. So once these policies are set, that'll start the automated remediation process. And then we'll also start to see events flow to the dashboard. From an event standpoint, we're going to break things down at a high level, whether it's malware, DLP events, anomaly events. So it really gives you, the ability to track issues from an event standpoint. We'll run through just a couple of quick examples here. So from a malware standpoint, if I jump into to Sharefile, we'll see all the different events and what we found from the security stack. In this case, we'll just take a quick example. So you'll have complete visibility into every file that sits within Sharefile. You'll see the permissions, you'll have access to the file, you'll see any shares, any activity. If the file's been shared and downloaded or accessed, you'll be able to see that on the file access map. And then on the right-hand side of the screen, you're going to see our security stack. Any of the tools that we've enabled, you'll see the automated scan details here. It looks like for this file, Checkpoint Sandblast found an issue. You'll be able to drill in and actually see the vendor's emulation reports here, so I can pull a quick report to understand exactly what this file did. and what the potential dangers might be. This would go for any of the security providers that we have, so suspicious activities, processes, affected registry keys, screenshots of the violation. So we're going to extend these best of breed tools and then make automated policy decisions based on the findings of these tools. That's a quick malware example. Let's take a quick look at a DLP event as well. So if we go to Sharefile, we'll see all the violations here. And then if we drill directly into, let's take a PDF file here. So same thing, you're going to see all of the statistics and visibility to the file. In this case, you'll see we've got a PCI violation. So I can drill in and see some more information here. We do have some role-based administration capabilities that can determine whether or not you see the violation and any of the sensitive data associated with it. So that's all configured via our group administration policy settings. So you can hand out different levels of visibility to sensitive information. And then you've also got manual actions to take here, as well as the automated policy actions through the policy console. The next piece will show a quick anomaly event as well. So you'll see from an anomaly standpoint, we're able to correlate events across different SaaS platforms. So we're able to do things if we saw a SaaS email login and then a login to Sharefile a couple minutes later from a different geography or location in the world. We're able to tie those events together and kick off alerts and alarms and deactivate accounts or reset passwords. So it really gives us, the frontline defense of scanning for malware and phishing attacks, and then on the back end, we're able to look for things like, anomaly behavior, files that are being shared anonymously, new devices that are connecting, and geotype policies. So complete visibility. We want to stop threats up front, but if there is anomaly behavior on the back end, we're able to monitor and understand if accounts are compromised, and then go ahead and reset passcodes or deactivate accounts based on that behavior. So that's the event-driven approach and automation from a policy standpoint. The next section I want to drill in is a quick overview of the analytics within the product. So you'll see individual dashboards here for us for each of the SaaS products that we integrate with. So if we go to the Citrix side, you'll see things like live event logs. You'll see all the detections from the security stack that can be drilled into. You also have some info boxes that are going to share different types of information with us. So if I want to see incoming or outgoing files, I'm able to drill directly in and set up search queries and search and sort and filter here through the interface. So it gives me instant visibility, the ability to search for things if I wanted to look for certain types of files, if I wanted to look for keywords. Here I'll do a quick search on the name of the file. And it's going to give me complete visibility within a click or two of any information that I need to find. If I want to correlate that with security information, if I want to bring in additional information about the file, the user, if I want to correlate security information, I've got the ability to dig in and bring that information into a customized report, and then display that here on the dashboard. I can take automated actions if I want to do quarantines, if I want to send reports or alerts and alarms. So lots of flexibility here to customize the dashboard, show you sensitive information. We've got some examples set up here around wall crossings, file violations. So at a high level, we're going to give you that instant visibility with lots of capability to really customize and drill into any information that you would need and correlate that with the security events. Okay. So that's a real quick look into the onboarding process and some of the features and functions that we can help really lock down and secure the environment for you. From a trial standpoint, we do have the ability to set up a 14-day trial on the product, so it gives us that quick and easy setup. It's about a 10-minute process to get you up and going and onboarded to the program. We do a 4-day process here over 14 days. We ask for less than 2 hours to actually get the product configured, review results with you, set up some of the prevent mode capabilities to automatically quarantine and help you lock down the environment. So literally in less than 2 weeks and 2 hours worth of time, we can give you complete visibility and help lock down your Sharefile implementation, and also look at other SaaS products that could be protected with a single dashboard with the best of breed security stack.
Perfect. Thanks, Chris. Appreciate it. In terms of, I'll cover next steps and then we'll get into questions, but you know, a lot of times we have these discussions. People are like, look, I like to try it out. I'd like to test it. We can certainly do that. If you want your, a personalized demo, you got questions about pricing, you can obviously reach out to us. We've got a page up there, avanan.com/next steps. We're more than happy to connect with you that way. So let's go ahead and get into some of the questions. So one of the questions that we had is, how is licensing handled by those security tools? And the answer is basically, we let the customer pick and choose what security tools they want. So, generally when it comes to Sharefile, people are interested. They want DLP, and they can choose from the different platforms. Symantec's a popular one, right? So if you don't have the licenses for those, we go out and actually get them for you and provide you with a per user licensing fee. So, you pick and choose, and at the end of it, we say, okay, here's how much it costs. And again, we get the licensing for you. Some of the other questions I get quite a bit, and I'll just, go ahead and share with you. Specific to Sharefile, one of the questions we get quite a bit is does this work with an on-prem storage zone? And the answer is yes. Yes, we do. So whether the storage zone is in the cloud or on-prem, this capability works the same way. The other question we get asked quite a bit is, do you integrate with an existing DLP solution? So maybe you've already got Symantec deployed, and you got the policy set up for your on-prem version of Symantec, and you want to know, hey, how can I want to use those same policies for Sharefile? Yes, we can absolutely do that. In that case, what we do is we just integrate with your on-prem version. We run a cloudified version in our cloud. It's managed by your manager. And depending on the solution, Symantec might be different than ForcePoint. It can be different than Checkpoint, for example. And it doesn't require a DLP solution. So we integrate with what you have, but if you don't have one, that's fine. Everything works just as Chris showed you. And the other question we get asked quite a bit is around ICAP. Does this require ICAP? No, it doesn't. We're using the APIs, so you don't have to have ICAP enabled. And again, we got a series of webinars coming up. The next one next week is really around O365. The link on where to register for that one's below, avanan.com/series. But a lot of the things we hear about O365 are, hey, how do I prevent phishing attacks? How do I detect and prevent compromised accounts? We'll address that there. I have a great solution for that, and be excited to show everyone. Great. That's basically it. Any questions? Again, feel free to reach out. Let us know. Look forward to working with you. Thanks for your time today. Take care.